Welcome back, everyone, to Ultrasound Unplugged. I'm Destiny. I'll be your host again today. We're going to continue on with our IVF series, and today I'm joined by someone very special. It is going to be our lead sonographer, Diana. She's here to give us an inside look on IVF ultrasounds, some questions that are commonly asked by patients. Maybe we're going to play a few games, and then we'll talk about what you can expect and all of that good stuff. So, welcome, Diana. I know this is your second podcast, so.
Thank you, Destiny, for having me here again. Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
As usual.
Okay, so today we're going to start off with just some intro questions, maybe just to get your perspective on it. So I know that you've done a lot of IVF appointments over the last few years. So what's one of the first things that people usually ask when they come in for the ultrasound, or like what's a common thing you get whenever they're in the appointment?
I mean, usually the main thing they're here for is their follicles. They always want to know the follicle size.
Okay.
So I mean, they usually get the results right away. So we don't exactly tell them, but they get the results. So, but I feel like that's one of the main questions that they always ask, like, how is my follicle size? Did they look good? Or the endometrium thickness, depending on what they're here for, or what stage of their process are.
Okay.
But I feel like that's the most common question.
So, it's kind of off topic, I guess. But so what? Can you explain the follicle size a little bit?
So during the IVF process, there's different stages. So usually they start with the baseline. The baseline kind of tells them, how big their follicles are, in order for them to know when they're ready to retrieve.
Okay.
So that's what they mean. They have to be at a certain size for them to know, it's ready. Like, let's retrieve them.
But so it doesn't always happen, right? That's the whole point.
No, so the baseline is mainly just to know when are they going to start their meds for them to start, to get to mature the follicles, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, that's mainly the follicles.
I want to know more about it, to be honest. But so how would you say? I mean, you were kind of talking about what the ultrasound purpose is in IVF. I mean, so I guess my question would be what is the biggest thing the ultrasounds do to help IVF patients? Like, what is the biggest piece of information it gives them?
Well, actually, ultrasound it plays a very, very important role in IVF. I would say it's one of the most important tools in IVF, before, during, and after. Not just during, but before, basically just to diagnose infertility.
Yeah.
During, to monitor their follicles, their endometrium. Like I said before, just to know when the follicles are ready, or the endometrium for embryo transfer. And then after, to confirm basically pregnancy, to look at the baby's heartbeat and, all the good stuff. So it's very, very important, for in IVF. So.
And so you've seen that whole process, right? So what would you say you enjoy the most about working with patients that are on that journey?
Honestly, the most that I enjoy is like being there for them.
Really?
It's a very, it's just a very emotional and very hard process, very stressful. So I will say being there for them, because not everybody has the support that they need. And a lot of patients, they come into us and they vent. They tell us how they feel. Yes. Okay. So we become very close, actually, because we see them, 3-4 times a week, sometimes, a lot of times. So I feel that connection that they have with us, they can talk to us, and I feel like that's my favorite part. Besides the ultrasound part, of course.
Yeah, that would be my favorite part.
That is my favorite part,
to be honest. Yeah, I can't imagine, honestly. But I know you have like some cool stories to tell. Maybe we can get into that later.
Yeah, sure.
But the next segment of our podcast today is going to be about guessing objects.
Okay.
So I'm a business manager, right? So I know the inventory, and I know our stock, and I know, the things that the techs use, but I don't always know the direct purpose of them, maybe. Okay. So we're going to go over them today. And so my first one, this one's pretty self-explanatory. If I don't know what this is, someone should say something to me.
Someone.
So, it's going to be, okay, it's like a clear bottle, and I know for a fact this is ultrasound gel. So, and then I know that, I know that you use it, obviously, before you put the probe onto the skin, but I guess I don't really know why we use ultrasound gel. Do you know the actual
You
purpose?
should know, Destiny. Okay, so gel is basically, it's a water base that we put into, the probe. So it basically works as a bridge to kind of fill in the gaps of air in between the skin and the probe, and that makes the sound waves go directly into the body and back in that bounce, and that's how we create that image. I don't want to go very into it because that's more like physics, and it's not my favorite subject. Actually want the
physics part would make it even more interesting.
Yeah, but basically that's what it is. So you were right. It's ultrasound gel.
Okay. Yeah. And also, I know a lot of places like keep it cold, right? Or no? Because
most places, yes, we warm it up, of course.
Okay.
Because we love our patients.
Yeah. Okay. The next thing, I know that they're probe covers, and I know that obviously they're covers for the probe, but I do not know necessarily why. Oh, it's pre-gelled. It says pre-gelled inside transmission gel. So, what are the actual probe covers for? They go directly on the transvaginal probe or no?
Yes, exactly. So basically, this cover, it has a little bit of gel in there too. But that gel doesn't go in contact with the patient's skin. Yeah. So it's basically just for hygiene, so the probe doesn't go straight and touches the patient's body.
That's why we run out of those.
So mainly to prevent infections and hygiene.
Okay, so it's like the basically like whenever they check your ears, like little plastic things they put on.
There we go.
Right? Okay.
Yes, good job.
Okay. I have one more thing because it's like it's kind of hard, but it's like this blue cushion that we put that on like under the sheets and everything for certain appointments. I don't know though if we use this for transvaginal appointments or not, or like what is this directly for?
We do. So here we do use these blue cushion. A lot of places they have the beds where, with the stirrups, so that way we don't have to use this. But this one is mainly for to put under the patients so it can lift their hips. And it helps us to move around more freely, like the probe, because we have to go like up and down from side to side. And sometimes if we're too close to the bed, we can't really do anything.
Oh, okay.
So it's mainly for us
for like your arm? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all the objects I have that I was asking. I mean, there are other things I'd say I'm curious about, but those three, I guess I wanted to know, like, the real reason behind why we use them. But, so, our next segment is going to be, like, a true or false mini game.
Okay.
So, I'm going to throw out a statement about ultrasounds related to IVF, and then you'll tell me if it's true or false.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, the first one is that ultrasounds during IVF are painful.
Painful, they are not, mostly. They can be, but I would say it's more discomfort.
Okay, yeah, that's what I said in the last episode, because that's what I figured. But I don't have personal experience, so, like, I can't say directly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very rare whenever we have a patient that they're having, like, extremely pain. A lot of times, once their follicles get pretty big, some of them, they hyperstimulate, so they get huge, and that's when they're having pain. But it's not because of the ultrasound. It's actually more because their follicles and their ovaries are bigger than usual due to their meds, and they're just... they're having pain already. So, but usually, no, generally they're not. They're not painful. They're
what
just
do you do in the situation if they're having pain? Do you just have to kind of
it really depends. I mean, with the IVF, we have to go through it. I never had a patient that says, like, no, I don't want to do it. Because, again,
because they know.
Yeah.
Well, they probably want to.
In other cases, I mean, if the patient is having pain I'm talking about not a IVF patient.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they don't want to go over. Like, they just say, like, no. They just...
Yeah, you just do, like, a pelvic ultrasound instead, from what I know.
So everybody's very different. Everybody has their, pain tolerance different. So, but IVF, no.
Okay.
We usually
That's
do
good
it and with no problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then, my next one will be that you only need one ultrasound during IVF.
That is false. They need a lot of ultrasounds.
Yeah.
Again, before, during, and after. So I would say one is not enough, or two. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot. I mean, I know it's pretty... Well, it depends on the person, but there is a lot initially.
Yes.
But so my next one is going to be that the ultrasound is more beneficial for the doctor and not the patient.
That is also false. I would say that is also beneficial for the patient. I feel like knowing the results and, it just helps them to, I guess, reduce their stress also, and just kind of know. Most of the patients, they want to know what's going on. They want to know.
Do you think that they start to understand what's on the report after a while, or do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mainly because they get more knowledge about their follicle size, and I'm sure they explain to them how big they're supposed to be, their endometrium lining, and stuff like that. So they usually know.
That would be cool, actually, to be like aware of your body like that in a sense, Yeah.
You'll be surprised. I have patients that they have a lot of knowledge in these things. Yeah.
Are they like? They don't have, like, any medical background, though?
No, I guess they just do a lot of research.
Oh, honestly, I would, too. Mm-hmm. If I was doing IVF, I would be researching that all the time.
Yeah, of course. So. And if you, the more you do it, the more, you know more about it. So.
Yeah, for sure. But so, say my last one is going to be that ultrasounds help decide the timing of the egg retrieval and embryo transfer.
That is true. Okay. That is true. Like I said, ultrasound plays a very important role during IVF. So, during the monitoring, it basically, they know when the...
Isn't that like the big purpose of the ultrasounds in the first place? Or no?
What was that?
Like, is that the bigger purpose of doing the ultrasounds in the first place when you're doing IVF monitoring? To know when to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Like I said before, just to know when they are going to start their meds, and then during, just to monitor to know when they're going to do the egg retrieval. Ultrasound also, they use it for guidance during their procedures for egg retrieval and transfer as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. Thank you for clearing some of those things up for us.
Of course. I'm not a pro, but I hope I answer all of your questions.
Well, you've been doing it for a long time now, so...
Yeah, for a few years, yes, me.
Yeah, so you do know a lot. But so, I'm gonna... Well, I wanted to ask, actually, before I get to this next question, if you had experience in IVF before working here.
I did not.
Mind you, this was a long time ago. But
no, I mean, I did a lot of like OBGYN, but not specifically for IVF.
Okay.
There's a little bit more into IVF just because, again, we have to know more about the follicles. Intricate. Exactly. But no, I did not had any experience.
Do you like being a part of that kind of thing?
I do. I love it.
Oh, okay.
I love it. It's very interesting. I think IVF is just very amazing for, a lot of people that can't conceive naturally. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, thank God for IVF.
I know, right? Hopefully, we can... I know a lot of people are trying to get insurances on board to try to help cover those things for people. So hopefully that we get around to doing that. Not us, but, society.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But so I guess my kind of wrap-up question is going to be that if you could give an IVF patient one piece of advice to feel more comfortable, whether it be during their ultrasound appointments or maybe during the process, what would you say?
I would say from a sonographer perspective, I would just say ask questions. I feel like asking questions, kind of knowing what to expect during the ultrasound mainly. Mm-hmm. It kind of helps them to, again, calm anxiety and all this stuff, because sometimes they don't know what to expect, especially if it's your first time doing IVF. They're very nervous. That is okay to be, to express your emotions during the ultrasound. I have patients that they cry if they don't see the results that they were expecting. So it's always okay to, again, we're not here to judge them. We're here for them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that is really amazing. I love hearing stories from you guys and the other techs about different like success stories, or even sharing kind of the emotional journey that you get to be a part of with them too. So I do enjoy that as well, even though I'm not directly a part of it. But so I would say this was really informative and kind of a fun episode. Maybe if you don't know a lot about ultrasounds and getting to hear from a tech, I would honestly love to pick your brain more in the future. I love learning in a multitude of ways. But if you guys who are listening are also in that sense in your mind, we're having more episodes in the next coming weeks with the same topic, really going deeper into IVF and picking other techs' brains maybe. Maybe we're going to partner with some doctors that we know, try to get their perspective of it too. So that should be interesting. But thank you, Diana, for helping us learn today.
Thank you, Destiny, for having me here.
Yeah, of course. And I know IVF can sound complicated, but when you help break it down like this and maybe explain some things, it really helps, especially all of us here at the office too. But so to our listeners, we will see you next week on with Ultrasound Unplugged. And then as always, if you want more information, you can visit our website at ultrasound-services.com. And then you can also look at our Instagram, which is just Ultrasound Services. We have a lot on there too as well. And we hope you have an amazing weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye.